Too committed, autonomously denigrating all, even those rare, honest efforts to slash social spending or lower taxes. Too quick to project unfairly twisted meanings on the postured cawing of the bristly right-wingers. Criminally elitist yet sinfully disdainful of the exceptionist role granted only to us by our Creator. Unable to get beyond mere dry facts and figures to embrace this, the greatest country in the world. Too certain that even the quietly faithful are just utterly senseless, conned, and frightened sheep. Far too full of skepticism regarding the incandescent jingoism over our new traditional family values. Too quick to fall back upon a sardonic humor laced with bitter sarcasm to belittle real patriotism. Too paralyzed by their excessive junk science facts and intrusive alternatives to enact bold solutions. Too sure that trivia, sloth, and greed have fatally infected our populace with a prideful ignorance. Too committed to the sacred belief that unquestioned faith is, in reality, simply a disabling handicap. Too certain that all organized religions are but old and worn-out legends worked as scams for control. Too morally relativistic, believing that nothing we can do can matter in our brief instant here on earth. Too busy deciding which costly commission catchphrase to repeat next to hear any other voices. So smothered by conflicting details as to be unable to take any rational action on the bigger picture. So overwhelmed by their own excess of facts, figures, and opinions as to be totally immobilized. Too quick with that sarcastic smirk when all the illiterate lowlifes just don't get it once again. Hopelessly addicted to a hazy, half-baked, opiate dream of a tired socialist New Age Garden of Eden, way too sure that slick advertising hype could actually be replaced by whatever reasoned debate. Far too suspicious of leaders who rely on their personal savior's counsel to make guilt-free decisions. Too quickly dismissive and overly arrogant due to an excessive and totally unproven faith in reason. Too caught up in books and ideas to make any constructive difference whatsoever in the real world. Always and automatically looking first to their government nanny's teat to solve every single social problem. Bloated with a fatal hubris garnered from their pathetic belief that man is the measure of all things. Blindly preaching an end to violence despite all the incontrovertible pop science counter-evidence. Too busy trying to tax and spend to note their own closer circling to that widening drain of poverty. Too willing to throw our tax money at the fuzzy math of their vast junk science climate conspiracy. Skillful at acting like real common folk while living up to their responsibility of an Ivy League background. Too slick at pimping wasteful deficit infrastructure spending as surefire, no-risk investments. Autonomically committed to government's moral authority and ability to solve all of our problems. Too stubborn to see how controlling assault weapons is the slippery slope which leads to dictatorship. Too eager to hand our sovereignty to godless one-worlders, but against patriotic global outsourcing. Too often hamstringing our great economy with unnecessary and expensive bureaucratic regulation. Too deaf to the working people's real needs to join in the loyal chorus of "Drill, baby, drill," still denying that constituent sacrifice is preemptively defensive crusades of liberation is not in vain. Unwilling even to admit that the best and the brightest of Wall Street really are our greatest hope, unable to see that the blind hand of the noble free market automatically solves any and all of our social problems.